Hey, welcome. Good Sunday night to you. This is the Shibazins Talk Daily, and I'm here with Barbie, and you never know who's going to come by. Actually, somebody just walked in, Crypto Mums. Shout out to her. So, we're just getting started, and we're really going to challenge ourselves from now on to come to you on the show from a love space, right from our heart, right from our Green Ray Energy Center, if you will. And what do I mean by that? I mean, well, the people that are behind a lot of these projects that we talk about, I think they come from that space. They come from a love for humanity. I think
Mm,
I think they saw what wasn't working and it gave them great ideas. And so
mhm.
we're going to talk about some of those ideas. Decentralization is one of them. What was the one we were talking about last night, Essie? Oh, yeah, a new nation state was another one that was born out of this love. And so
Mm.
I'm just sitting back welcoming that, welcoming all the love that they're trying to send us, and we're going to learn about it together. So last night we learned about the charters and the different positions. What do they call them? Like cabinets, or where they had like 2 to 4 people?
Yeah, the council, right? Or what was it?
Councils.
Oh.
Yeah, the councils that go along with those different assets in this ecosystem, let's just say.
Hmm.
So we talked about that leash, bone, treat, and what was the other one, Essie? Was it she?
Yeah, she, it was she.
Oh, bone, right? Yeah, she was the one that was kind of left out of that, wasn't it? Did they have any council duties? Do you remember
Oh,
seeing?
no, no, they did not. You're correct. It's Shiba, right? Shiba Inu is
Yeah,
one,
that's right. Sheba.
and
Yep,
then we have Bone, Leash, and Tree. So the four of them.
that's right. That kind of makes that she stable token stand out in that it doesn't really have a council around it. Why do you think they might have did that? Anybody?
Well, probably because it's currency, I would think, right?
Oh, okay, okay. Instead of like a token to a system, maybe a governance token or a technology piece, it's actually a currency. Hmm. Hmm.
Right?
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
very interesting. Yeah.
I
I like
agree.
how you called it. What was the one of those councils that you labeled as the Fed? Was it the Bone Council? Do you remember that you made that note? It said the Fed.
Oh,
Mhm.
you're gonna jog my memory. I don't know. Let's take a look on my text here.
Yeah, it was one of
Um,
those communities, and you're probably right. But since it's the Fed, I wonder if it will have anything to do with she. I wonder if it'll participate more in that. By the way, if y'all are just joining us, we got a couple of awesome people in the house. Crypto Moms from the Tree community is here. Dark Shiba's around. Hey guys, if y'all want to, we'd love to have you. What have y'all been seeing lately this week?
Hey guys, just
Hey,
hopping on for a second here. I'm waiting for my son to come out of hockey practice. It's 10:15 at night here, but kind of what I'm seeing this week right now is just a down market, like just a down market all the way around. And we're no exception to, down markets and red charts and, all of that stuff. So I think what we're seeing right now is a test of patience throughout the whole market, including your layer ones and your altcoins and all that comes with, treat and the ecosystem that's being built, within like Shiba and Shiba Inu's ecosystem. Those are the big things that I'm seeing right now. Just right now, we're just gonna have to be really, really patient as people continue to read the charter and figure out exactly what it is that's being said and have it be determine exactly what each council is designed to do and then who's going to take action to do it,
yes,
right? Instead of
yes,
sitting around, people are waiting on this one source of some sort of, go ahead or please do or make it happen. And there's going to come a point where enough people and the right people are going to become impatient with waiting on someone and they're just going to take action and make things happen.
that's right.
And I think we're closer to that than we've ever been before. So
I love that sentiment, Sarah. Let me ask you a quick question about that. So, uh, what would they do? Would they write it on the blockchain? Is that how you take action in this new realm of, I'm just going to call it government for lack of a better word, but is that how you communicate and vote even? Is that on the blockchain?
My guess is not. That's just my guess. I think what you're going to see happen is that you're going to see people step up and step into, their positions within the communities. You're going to see more and more people gather together. You're going to see more and more people have involvement. And it's not going to be the names that you are familiar with. I think that's what's going to keep it decentralized. It's going to keep it from being kind of a, looking for a name figure or a person from authority or one that's already been around the block. I think it literally can and will be born within the standing communities. It's going to be who's going to take action, who's going to take action, who's going to gather the people, who's going to bring it together, and who's going to make the system. And then the systems will become adopted through the ShibSins and all of the things that are within the charter.
That's right. That's a very good point. I guess the reason I asked was it going to be on the blockchain is because I remember one day people talking about if you wanted to make something legal, right? A legal communication, right? That you did it through the blockchain. Do you remember that? It's maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, where they wanted to communicate something through the blockchain where they would have to use the SHIB time. There's a way in the charter to make it official, right? And I just wondered if that's the way we might start that process, like talking with the Bone community, for example. Now, me personally, I don't know how to get in the blockchain and write messages, but I guess that's a thing. Is that right? And if that sounds good, should we do it like that?
I may have missed that particular piece, but I mean, yeah, if we want a record of it, right, an on-chain record, the best way to do it is through the blockchain, in a blockchain messaging system, and that would be the best way for communities to be able to communicate within to each other, would be my guess.
I think you're right. Yes, that's exactly what they said. That would be a record. I like that. Maybe that's what we should think about, reaching out to the Bone people, reaching out to the leash people. I don't know a whole lot of Bone fanatics. I know even less leash fanatics, right? But I know one, and that's where I would start, right? And get some people that are passionate about their assets. That's who the leaders are, right? The people that are passionate, the people that step up right now in a decentralized community and do their thing anyways. That's the ones I would want, and do you know anybody in particular that like loves leash? Does anybody?
No, not me, John.
No, I can't think of anybody either. So leash, Bone, there's a lot of people that love Shiba. Treat, leash, Bone, Shib, and Treat. Okay, that's the four. All right, well, that's where we'll start. I think I reached out to Joey over at the collective last night and said, Joey, I'd love to talk to you about some Bone. But that's what I think we do. We get people that are passionate about these assets, that want to take charge, and they don't know about it. I mean, nobody's holding people down and telling them this stuff. So we'll passionately and lovingly pass this information along. And maybe the blockchain's the way to do it.
It's a really good idea, John. I like it.
Well, thank you. What else were we talking about, Essie? What else did we want to talk about with maybe decentralization, and what does that mean? That's a big new thing to a lot of people, Essie. What are some of your thoughts around it? How do we tell other people what it is?
Well, I think we start with having honest conversations with those that we love, those that we are working with on a daily basis. These are the people that I'm working with, and slowly inviting them. Obviously Telegram is a great tool that we can say, hey, if you have a chance, come and join us. I have a couple friends on Treat, and they've, starting to read and starting to listen, starting to learn. I think the economy, the way it is today, is such the perfect example to really get that conversation going. And when you really are able to open up and be real about the value of the dollar and our economy and the struggle, that's when we can say, hey, there might be another opportunity here. There might be a different way. Like, you know, when you remember how infectious you were when you were talking about DeFi. Remember how you were explaining to me, well, inflation obviously is such a yucky word and gives you such terrible feelings. You're like, let's just deflate it. And
Deflated.
all of a sudden you realize, well, if inflation is wrong, then you're like, deflation might be right.
I like where you're going with that, Essie. Thank God. That is a fresh take. It's like walking into a bakery and smelling that fresh baked love, because yeah, I needed to hear that. Yeah, deflation is the way. You know, and deflation takes a lot of things. It takes demand, right? Demand being the biggest. Supply, yeah, you can have no supply all day long and no demand, and it doesn't really work out. But if you have equal demand or higher, then you're lowering supply really does work out for you. I mean, that's a perfect situation. So what does it take to be popular, in your opinion? Well, hell, I'll tell you this. The Shiba name is already popular. Number what, 16, number 15 in the chart, already popular. It's already there.
And it's so affordable too. It's a really good place for people to actually get involved and understand, you know, there's not too much risk involved in that at that level.
100%. And you know, you're buying bulk. You're buying, you know, the first time I ever bought 1 million tokens, it was a huge deal to me. The first time I ever bought 10 billion tokens, it changed my life, right? And
really?
People around me didn't understand it. They never heard of those amounts. I mean, they might even be working literally in the industry and just never heard of those quantities before. I think it's pretty genius. Now, since then, we've all learned a lot, and we've learned that diminishing supply is even better. So I tell you, I tip my hat to the people that put it together, and the love that created everything that it is today, because it's a behemoth today.
Isn't it? You're right. That's like the perfect word. I've been mulling over that word actually several times over the week with this ship paper, because that's what he said, the behemoth, the decentralized behemoth. And that really is what it is. That was the perfect word for it.
Well, it's becoming what it is. It's unstoppable. You taught me yesterday. You said, yo, John, what they're building in the Shiba state is this, and we can start it right here. This is a good thing. The Shiba state is all about, yo, who's got your back? Your fellow Shibazins got your back. As long as you're not acting a damn fool, they'll stand up for you. If you're being what? Wronged, unjustified, unjusted, I don't know the word. I tell you this, don't tell me about it. Reggie, do I fuck with people that fuck with other people? Yeah, don't fuck with people that fuck with other people, right? Meaning what? Like that movie Life. They stand up, they got your back. We watched that clip earlier. That was the funniest clip ever, but it's true. And you brought that to light yesterday, Essie. You said even in the courtrooms, you know, and that's not what this is about. Don't get me wrong. The Shiba state is not about going to fight for you in court or going to fight for you in any battle, but you better not wrong any Shibazin around any other Shibazin. That's what it's really about.
Yeah, it's you said it. It's a covering. It really is a terrific covering. It's a good start. And again, I go back to Ryoshi, who gave us Shiba Inu and had a vision for Shiba, and said, "Here's a gift." And then the next person, Satoshi Kusama, took it and said, "Here's the second gift." It's almost like, you know, in like a few generations, we're like, what's the third gift? And start to look for these people who are going to rise up and continue this pace of getting us free.
That's right. It's kind of like a paying it forward. Both of them seem to pay it forward with their work. They
Mm.
didn't take anything home. They didn't take a lot with them. They said, look, this is for the people. And that is, the spirit that we come together in today, because, we didn't do that, but
Mm.
we caught it. We caught the ball, and now
Hmm.
we're running with it. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
And but that is the beauty of it. And they had that foresight to say, hey, I am no one. And I love that saying, don't look to me, don't look to him, don't look to them. We are no one. We stand together as no one, but you're still no one. And that is so valuable, really valuable if you can understand that concept.
it's
It
lovely.
it it brings value to your world. It brings value to your life, because of the freedom behind it. I think we have been fed. One of the things we have been fed, I don't even think about it. One of the things we have been fed is to be that star, to be that person who's up on stage, look at me now kind of thing. And with that comes such a heaviness of, no freedom, no ability to move outside of your circle.
Yes.
It will trap you. And that's the part no one ever gets to hear about. That's the part that no one ever really gets to know about. And, so we have all these people coming up from the generation saying, oh, I wish to be this person in the spotlight. And that freedom doesn't come with that. We think, oh, if you're so rich and popular that you would, be able to do anything you wanted, and you could,
Yeah.
I mean, things are easier. I'm not saying they're not getting any perks. I recognize they are, but to have the ability to say, I am no one, don't look at me, do you, and let me live my life freely as I wish.
That's right.
It's really, that's where the gold is. That's the
Superpower.
ticket. That's the golden ticket
It
right
is. And
there.
I've never looked at it like that, but you're right. The first spirit guide I had show up to me, that they came with that message. They were like, yo, don't let that fame shit get in your blood, John. It's poison.
Huh.
And that was the very, very first lesson that I got. And I thought about it many times since then, but until you said it like that, that makes so much more sense. You want to be the nobody. You want to be the nobody that does something good, because you don't want to be trapped in your own walled walled garden. You don't want to be trapped in your apartment. You don't want to be trapped in your castle. You don't
And
want to
then
be.
when you go out, you're constantly being poked and prodded, and I mean, it's like, it's not, I'm not against it. If that's what you want to do, if that's your world, then go for it. I'm not here to stop your dreams, but I'm thinking about my own and my personal desire. And when I really evaluate what would that give me, I look at the other way around and said, you know what, in the long run, I think this would be better for me.
Reminds me of the hexagrams over at I Ching, Ching the Dragon, right? Uh,
Hmm.
I think there's something called like the sixth layer, let's just say, and you don't want to fly that high because you'll burn up in the sun. You know what I mean? You want to
Oh,
keep
wow.
it around a five,
Hmm.
and that's
Oh,
kind
that's
of,
interesting.
yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
benchmark. There's the sun. Don't fly into it.
Yeah, that's really actually a interesting concept. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I
I tell you, that whole asset class over there with
Yeah,
Ching,
yeah.
Fang, I would say revolution. I would say wake up. I would say the
Mhm.
people need to wake up to what's going on over there at Revolution, at Ching, Fang, Haiku. There's some more of them. I would say I'd wake up and go look at that. I'm talking to you, Ka, Quam, Shiba, Treat,
Mhm.
Shy. I'm talking to all of you because that's a whole asset class that it's over my head. I'd like to learn more about it. But I tell you this, there's a lot of technology and a lot of love that went into those assets, every single one of them.
I agree. You know, someone's been recently pushing the revolution a lot, and the more and more I listen to it, the more I'm thinking, there's something really powerful about the
There's something going
revolution.
on. It's like Hope. It's way over collateralized.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Hope for being way the fuck over collateralized and upside down in market cap versus liquidity. Shout out to Revolution for, I guess, the same thing. But those are great metrics. But look beyond that. Look at look at what they bring. Not you, Essie, but anybody in those other assets. Look at what the technology is behind it. I'm not going to say it's the easiest to find out what's inside of a contract address, but there are ways. There are ways to see what they do. There's people that have already done the research, and if anybody would like to know more, come on the show, ask us about them, send us some questions. We would love to answer your questions about anything.
Yes, definitely. And if we don't know, we'll find somebody who
We'll
does.
find somebody. That's right. That's right. Well, I tell you what, Essie, unless you got anything else, we'll save our energy for another show for another day, and we'll keep bringing it to these fine folks.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. We love y'all. Catch you next week on Monday. Peace. That was good. Let me kill the record.